not able to provide it. Now it's up to Aluka. He has been a straight shooter, but has a lot to worry about and has just not able to keep his head on the swivel fast enough. Kismet trying to follow from inside the hard point. Does well to keep the time here for the Falcons, but from the back, look at Dashy's position. He's completely reduced the ability for the Falcons to get together, and all these individual gunfights are keeping in the favor of Optic.
Yeah, but Dashy gets too aggressive and no one hard blocking, so now it almost gives you the opportunity for giving up these back spawns. At least when you are going to be able to do it, but it's only 25 seconds left. You will gladly take it because the entire kill feed is lit up in green. That is going to be all 4 dead. The nuke on 5 in a row. This is a pull away moment here for Optic.
Absolutely huge from Hoot, getting really close to that Hellstorm. 140 to 79 rotation being halted for a moment by Mercury. Shotzzy also the second layer behind this play towards fences. Spawns are about to open up. Optic have the position. They have the numbers, so the Falcons need to win some gunfights badly.
You just don't have any advantages because every single time these sequences start to go down, it's usually Optic starting it off. This time it's going to be Kismet, Exted, Celium combining for 3, but still the last man standing is the nuke. He picks up the Hellstorm. He's on 7 in a row. You save that for P4.
Okay, well, it's 150 to 90. Falcons are still in the hard point, but the Optic Texas pressure is starting to come through. Let's take a listen in with Texas.
Nice, last guy was out of fence. So this time and rotate.
I got him this one. Really good time. Yeah, we have a trick. Like how they get tricked, trick.
I'm in the water.
He's gonna shriek. Actually, wait, we have hill. Yeah, we have hill. Never mind. Get it. I have a trick for us on top. Yo, guys, close to me.
Nothing open. Close.
I think he's our side. Oh, one guy's open. Absolute.
Outer challenge.
Nice. I got double later. One more outer. Their side. Short.
Close. Short. I'm up in fire. No, help front.
What's wrong?
Don't die.
Back top.
All of good one shot there.
Yo, what's the one shot?
Bottom is it.
Play for both sides.
Top part. 3.
Short. I got it.
3 top part. I'm getting this time. They're open.
I mean, what do you say about that? Lisan Al-Gaib, Hercules with the huge heads-up play on the route, goes on a massive streak, and that blows the game wide open.
And it's not even like Optic are doing the crazy stuff, outslaying them by 100 kills. No, it's just efficiency right now in the gameplay. Every single time Falcons are trying to execute a break, trying to execute a setup, they're not winning that initial fight, and that automatically gives the advantage every single time to the green wall. They're about to be able to breach that 200-point mark. Shotzzy on 5 in a row. You still got a backup Hellstorm, just in case it gets a little bit scary. Optic, if you thought they were going to be flat, hell to the no.
Falcons are keeping it mixy, but they need a moment, and they're going to need to put a couple together at this point. Aluka only able to get one will be shut down. Shotzzy on 6 is very, very close to another Hellstorm, which will just be icing on the cake for map number 1. Sees the contest, finds it, another Hellstorm tallied. So much insurance built into this Optic Hacienda hardpoint.
And with the lead that they currently have, you know that Falcons can't afford to give up any time, so they're going to contest till the final seconds of the P1, and that's going to give you free space to hit the rotation through the front door at P2. Optic can close it out here. The nuke setting up dirty pinches. That's 3 trying to locate the final guy on 9 in a row shots. He finally gets shut down, but Optic looking to close it out right here.
That's just another moment where Riyad's making the right play, but you just can't keep track of the subs. They are everywhere, all the time, always. Hit from the front. That might be the only real option here for Riyadh. They're able to neutralize up the time. Luka for 1. But the trades continue to allow Optic to still hold the spawns and, of course, still hold the hard point until Kismet gets 2, and that will actually find the time for the Falcons to spawn in driveway.
Yeah, but Optic only needs 16 more points. Essentially, have 2 Hellstorms to bail you out for the rest of this game. We're going to commit, trying to win it right here, right now. 2 through the front, 2 through side door. Mercury finds the first, but it's effective trades for Falcons.
Luke gonna give the exit. One more little attempt. It will be shut down. So the Falcons will get closer to the 150 mark. But as you mentioned, 2 Hellstorms. Rotation win currently underway. It feels like only a matter of time here for Optic. It has to be perfect on this move for the Falcons. They're going to be slowed down by Shotzzy calling in the first Hellstorm. Exit does give you 1, but you you've got to find a way to contest the time here because they can just win it by holding this Hellstorm. Hoops able to find 2 through office, and that may be the final punch. The last attempt for the Falcons to jump on in. Luka's able to give you a 1. The follow from Hercules is there, and Optic just need 1 more second, but the break does come through at the last moment.
Did Ashy almost get it done by himself? No, but that's why you got another bailout Hellstorm. Force the Falcons indoor. Someone just sprint towards the HV. You only need 1 more second. And it's still Optic on the mini-map doing the fundamentals when they are this close to the finish line. Yep. 2 kills go their way, 3 kills go their way, and Optic take map 1. I guess JP was right, Al. That's why we don't play them on Hospi.
Bro, it's just, this is such a tough team to pick into. I mean, the veto process, in case you didn't see it, it was Scar that got vetoed out by Riyadh, understandable. But that leaves open Hacienda, Gridlock, Colossus. It's like all the bread and butters that we've seen from Optic over the last month and a half. And I get it if you're the Falcons. Okay, let's leave Hacienda open. We played it well. We beat Thieves there. Thieves aren't a bad team on Hacienda whatsoever. But it's just when you watch Optic play this map, anytime that it's a 4v3, it feels like a 6v3 because someone's hitting around. Or in particular, just looking at that first P2 where Dashy's at Rock, Shotzi's over towards Well, they're both floating and just keeping the Falcons from ever putting together a setup. It just got to be so frustrating to play against.
And you can just tell by watching the mini-map, the trust on the side of Optic is at an all-time high. Dashy the entire time was staying pushed out towards Rock. He didn't care if Exit popped the double in towards Lambo. He trusts his team to go fly on in and get that trade. Efficient Call of Duty from the green wall, taking care of business, shutting up any momentum that Falcons thought that they were going to have from that last series. That's what you want to see.
Absolutely the case. 32 and 19 from Boot. Just continues to put up unfathomable numbers. And it's just one of those things, like, you gotta give a lot of credit where credit's due. Like, considering the Falcons were not able to put together really one stable setup, they kept themselves in this game. I think you call a really important moment early. It feels kind of negligible because of the final score, but that moment at P3 fences, when you lose out in about 15 seconds, you don't expect that nade to land, is pretty critical because that keeps you from building momentum going from 3 to 4, and that's where Optic starts to eventually put your pressure on rotation.
Well, you would have done an extra 10 seconds, potentially locking down a better P4 setup, but just kept on allowing Optic to streak whenever they needed to dominate the money hills. If you're going to play Hacienda and lose basically every single P2 and every single P4, you're most likely going to get 100-point club. Like you said, just the Falcons trying to stay in the fight. Just couldn't really find trades on some of the SMGs who were just continuously getting lost on the map.
They just play the game at that speed where only a couple of squads can keep them at least somewhat arm's length. Falcons not quite able to get through the hurdle there, but that is Optic's pick. So I think if you're mentally looking at that, you're the Falcons, you're saying, all right, we know that we're kind of running up the hill full speed here, but not the end of the world if we drop the map. But now you look at the overall series and you say, okay, you're fighting, you're gunning, you're keeping yourself in the kill feed, but we got to find a way to make sure we're out strategizing Optic in map 2.
Without a doubt, man, because they're desperately going to need this map number 2. We can talk about the teamwork aspect of what Falcons have been showing throughout this weekend. You see it in Harbor Point. You see it in Search and Destroy. Where Overload sometimes relies on mano a mano, me versus you. When you don't have that consistency in your SMGs all the time, you need to enter into this best of 5 earlier before you go down and make it to that Overload. Then Search and Destroy, they have yet to test with this new 4.
Yeah.
You just watch Optic play this one. They still were able to clutch up in a 6-5 with shots and getting blooded 6 times.
Yeah.
Just got to make good play calls.
But I think the interesting thing is, like, let's just focus, hone in a little bit onto a Luka. I mean, he's cutting his teeth right now on glass. You jump into a debut on the champ stage and you have to square up against Scrap, your MVP. Handles it, does pretty well. Get through the lower bracket, you get a chance to go up against Sid, who's probably one of the most aggressive overchallengers when it comes to AR battles. He's going to want to take every fight, and he handles it. Same kind of situation, you have to play up against Abuza Andraza, that's tough. Handled it pretty well. But now you're going up against Dashy, who, let's be honest, he has been the definition of locked, especially when we've watched him on Search so far this weekend.
Telling you, if you're going to challenge Dashy and you miss a shot,
You're dead.
You might as well go home. Because that guy does not miss headshots out of this world with the M15. And even if he runs out of ammo in that gun, that Jaeger is pretty damn good too. So for Falcons on this Search and Destroy, we need to find early success to give us the advantage. You know that Optic loves to play with pace. If you put them in a 3v4 uncomfortable position, continue to play slow, play for their playmakers.
I think at least strategy-wise, with the Falcons, why do you pick this map? You you know that you can at least somewhat keep the SMGs in front of you, and that's already come to fruition. The Stellium finds first blood on the shots and trying to play through mid-cut. And Kismet will get a deep position with servers here while the bomb lingers on the backside towards B.
Yeah, Hookah's just gotta commit. Potentially get behind enemy lines, but now it's a 4v2 and Kismet is now behind you. 1v4, all left up to Mercules. Gets one kill, is able to get out, but bomb is getting planted.
Yeah, this is just one of those moments with an SMG that you don't feel great about. Bomb planted. A lot of work to be done here. First step is just getting a look at what's around B, and he's not going to get much of a look whatsoever. Really clean round for the Falcons.
Extremely clean. You know that Optic initially always wants to play for that mid-map control so they can set up that crossfire around that B site. Well, you have players like Dash just scouting over towards rooftop. Once they find that first blood, Kismet puts himself in such a good position. Then, like I just said before the map started, if you get that first blood, Optic tend to get antsy, quickly trying to make up for the numbers. Who gets caught? And that's basically the round already done. Falcons get the first.
That's big, just to take some aggression out of Optic's playbook early. See what Optic decides to draw first on their first attack. Looking for some main presence at least over through mid. Luca's going to give that a shoulder. He will eat eyes with Luke. Both players going stuns. The main focus over towards rooftops and falling off the map there, I believe, is Kismet. Shotzi gets credit for the elimination, and we're going to get an early 3v2 for Optic.
Dashy gets all the information that you want. Bomb carrier now going to work his way up through the middle of the map. Setting rushing, but they're going to come in on these fights. And Luca with the perfect spot. Gets to the top window. You don't have an angle on him. And you heard the Death's touch on it. This new duo between the Luca and Exton, they could pull something out of nothing. 2v3, Falcons now up 2.
Those are two boiling point melter laser beams out of a Luca, too. And a really good read on the rotation timing-wise for Falcons. I think just when you initially lose that push towards rooftops, you're sitting there like, uh-oh, they're going to hit us. But that is a snap from a Luca. 4-0 start for him.
Luca Nakua going crazy on the main stage. Trying to pick up an early Hellstorm, but that's why his duo in Exton has that boomstick. First blood followed up by a second kill. Already a 4v2.
On Luca, he wants to kill number 5. Tries to challenge out to his teammates for the trade, and they do. Last one left will be Dashy. Late on the rotation, over from his position on the island at A. Take their time, footsteps heard, actually gets the damage out to allow Kismet to find the easy trade out, and that is going to be 3 first bloods for a 3-0 start for the Falcons.
It's happening very quickly, too.
I'll say.
Your Optic, this with of mid-round adjustments need to start to come on in. Slow down the game. Because Falcons, with their aggression, they know that they're playing with nothing to lose. There was no expectations for this roster to be in this position. But Optic needs to be able to make adjustments.
Yeah, sure do. Because right now, every single round has been well and firmly in control of Riyadh from pretty much start to finish. I mean, yes, first bloods will give you that intention. So, can Optic find a way to keep themselves in the round a little bit longer? Dashing shoulder up top at the hole, able to at least see one member. Quit the smoke. Optic going for that stapled smoke, maybe plant scenario, but it's not going to fool the Falcons. This is a little bit of a fake. Shotzi just pushes through with Berkeley's on the dojo hit, and they're going to find the first 2.
Should be a guarantee round here for the green wall. They're going to just have to rush this bomb plant because they don't have any presence through the middle of the map, but information now gained. You spot out Exton with the sniper. He's not going to be able to hit the shot because Dashy's not going to peek again. And all you want to do now is just allow this game clock to keep on ticking.
Yeah, this is the only real play. Exton's going to move back over to join Selling, see if he can find himself a rifle on the ground. Stun comes through, Sell's got to find the opener, tags her out, able to find the first one. Oops, getting shots onto the second. That should leave Exton a chance to get a weapon, and yeah, he's able to pick one up, but Dashy shuts him down before the action can get a little bit too hot. Sell, dancing, diving, looking for a knife, not going to reach anybody, and Optic are on the board.
Yeah, good play call there from Optic to switch it up. Not spread it around the map. Send all 4 players towards one side. Whip out an extra NPC. If they're not showing face, we're not going to commit on the bomb plant. We're going to take their side away. When that first gunfight goes down, you're not able to get the trade if you are Exton. A 4v2 immediately for Optic. Finally get their first on the board.
I still think overall, and this was kind of when we watch Optic play phase, and we were kind of talking about it in the green room, a lot of hits where it's smoke plant, trying to kind of give you that mental focus was Optic, but Falcons were not fooled by it. Couldn't win the gunfights, of course, but at least from the strategy side, you made the right call. Exton just a little bit short. Off that shoulder, back over towards mid. Optic also kind of showing a little bit of aggression here with Shotzi and Root both playing through the B site.
It's a great stunt to gather this information onto Kismet being the aggressor. They're gonna force him to back on out. Already 25 seconds gone on the round, and Kismet puts himself in position to at least spot 2, but they're committing.
Yeah, when you're set up for this, if you are the Falcons, Luka's gonna come back from the bottom side of the overload goal. The info from Kismet is followed up beautifully, and now you have pretty much wide open B site. Dash is able to reduce the numbers to a 3v2 situation. Follow up to get another. It's on to Mercules for a 1 versus 2. And Riyadh are not going to commit for the objective yet. Mercules comes on the corner. Good shots, but not fast enough to get the read. It's 4-1 Falcons.
Just patient. Right now for Riyadh. Seems like Optic are trying to play a little bit disrespectful certain times. That's all the map control that you want. You use the stun grenade, you spot out Kismet, you force them to back on down. And if you just keep your presence alive on that side of the map, stand a way better chance than just committing in this situation. Because Falcons barely take steps off spawn. They trap you in that 4v2. Now they have a 3-round lead again.
And no way is Optic expecting that the bomb carrier of Aluka is playing that far deep. You've got Kismet who's just looking for info. We can run him down. Not so fast, not so close. Optic on the next attack. Aggression for the rooftop once again. Mercules on the first, and the shots supported by who? Give them the second. So second time we've seen that defensive setup for Falcons. Second time it's failed.
Another situation where Optic have early numbers. But it's Aluka and Exnid left alive. Last time they clutched up on this similar situation. But instead of Optic going through mid, we're taking the long route. We're going to get this planted.
Absolutely. Luka and Exnid can work together. Optic can clear through Dojo. Trophy systems are down. Mercules the one responsible for the pin. Shots out from Exnid. Easy follow-up from Merc. Last one left alive is the new guy, Luka. 1 versus 3. Now look at the first one way cleanly. Slips away. Now has both weapons to work with. 35 on the clock.
Is getting planted. If you are Shotzi, you're potentially going to think that he's rotating through the middle of the map, but Mercules spots him, no need to commit.
Got info onto both. Aluka, push starts to come through, finds the first 1v1, no! Close, but no cigar, 4-2.
Almost another 2v3 clutch out of Aluka and Exnid. But Mercules understanding the situation. Oh, you got him weak? Oh, I got an NPC. I'm gonna send it in with this shotgun weapon. Optic get their second offense of the map. Still a little bit that they need to figure out before they even get to the 4-4 score, but on their adjustments on defense just slow down the game.
Absolutely they need to. Again, first blood battle has been convincing for the Falcons, especially from what they've been able to do on the offensive side. Scope out for Exnid, looking for crossers from the Dojo. That smoke over the top doesn't get to where it's intended, but that's supposed to block the Dojo windows. So now Exnid's going to switch over to the SMG and just try to force the issue, kind of square peg, round hole situation here, but the space is, well, appreciated enough for Kismet to get the plant 4v4.
Yeah, and they're basically taking any playmaking ability out of Shotzi immediately. As soon as they commit so quick on that bomb plant. It's already 10 seconds gone. Cellium is going to be the guy that has to focus on this guy. Can Shotzi sneak through?
No, Cell keeps the gun up. More to deal with though. Hoop trying to get the trade. Cell pretty more time in space. Nate comes out, damage. Cell gets his follow-up on his own trade. Now it's just down to Bird. Able to find the first, down to 11 HP. Easy follow-up, and it's the Falcons on that point.
Just quick decisions again from the Falcons. There is no vibe from this team on this map. You have no idea what their playbook looks like. But every single time on their offense, they have had something different to throw at the wall. And Optic are just not prepared for it. First Blood's consistently going their way. But now Falcons looking to tie up the series at game point.
That's 2 great moments just to highlight how much the Falcons are aware and respect the fact that Optic's going to play super deep, long routes. Doesn't matter what side of the bomb they run. That little bit of preparation has really tallied up 2 rounds of these 5 for the Falcons. Optic looking for some aggression. Nice nade there from Aluka to slow things down. Merc simply gets the stun in towards Dojo. Aluka just backs up, plays his life. Kismet trying to look for first one. Mid cut, not going to work out. Exit on the follow-up. He's able to find one, but the trade is there for who? Numbers for Optic.
Luka and Cellium trying to clutch on up. Luka's going to take his sweet time though. Instead of forcing it to be a one-on-one on one side of the map, let me just get back over towards MC because he's reading this pressure.
Oh, MC able to find first. Luka's there for the support. There's the Shotzi, and it's going to be Cello as the last word. Another brilliant read from the Falcons. I mean, unbelievable awareness from the Falcons.
So many clutches there from Riyadh. You can't throw that away when you have number situations if you are Optic. You just played this map. You just were able to be victorious even with certain players not really having a lot of success. But this is where the rookie is making vet plays. He takes that space through the middle. He said, screw this, I'm not gonna put myself in a 1v3. We stand a better chance in a 2v3. And you know Selim is not missing shots. Another clutch from the Falcons. The Wonder Kids keep on going, and they tie the series.
I love that final moment is the rookie and the vet. Oh my. And it's just so poetic because both finish on 10, and that has been the missing key. We talk about it so often, where Kismet's been in a weird spot and he has to flex out. We don't really have a second true AR. Aluka shows up and goes 1 for 1 with the top KD leader right now in the league.
And even with Kismet sitting at 3 and 6, allowing him to not run that bomb anymore after that roster change allows him to have that play style that he wants to do in Search and Destroy. He's always been a great mastermind in the Search and Destroy game mode. And he was also doing fantastic of just not allowing shots to get through. Selim was able to find 4 first bloods on that map. I guess Optic didn't learn quick enough.
Huge response from Riyadh, desperately needed because, as we often say, new squads often struggle a touch with the overload. That has been the big weak point for Riyadh so far, whereas Optic, yeah, they're still just about as good as you would expect just about everywhere. Haven't lost an overload yet on the weekend, and they're heading into one of their favorites. It's Scar Overload in a 1-1 elimination final when we come back.
Come on, go!
Black Ops 7 returns to the Esports World Cup this summer. Scan the QR code to get your tickets now. Go pick up the 2026 Call of Duty League Championship Tracer Pack. You can support all 12 Call of Duty League teams. Player X is the official esports fantasy partner of the Call of Duty League.
Brought to you by America's Navy and the special operators who work in the shadows.
What's up, everybody? I'm here at Challengers Champs because, as you know, we had the 16 best teams come out here to compete in Challengers for $150,000. First place is getting $60K. Right now, we got the winners finals going on behind me. It's P7 going up against Old Mid EU. And so P7 Notorious, they're up right now. They're energetic. It's crazy. Now, we have our top 3 qualified teams for EWC. That's going to be P7 Notorious, Old Mid EU, and Team War. So they're going through, but now we just got to find out who's going to win the $60K. So tune in to Challengers Champs and find out.
Gotta keep moving. It's up to me, I gotta do it. Man, I gotta keep moving. It's up to me, I gotta do it. I'm waist deep, gotta get out.
pure vibes here in Las Vegas, Nevada. But after a map 2 stunner, a level of calm and quiet has come by way of the venue, and we're looking at a 1-1 map count heading on in to a Scar Overload here at the Michelob Ultra Arena. And I'll tell you what, if Falcons could come out and keep that hotness here, we could have something that is just, once again, completely unprecedented, something that no one would have possibly predicted. And so far they're saying that even though map 1 necessarily didn't go our way, we're right in the series.
They just continue to do the unexpected. This squad is playing maps for the very first time. Obviously, you practice on the back, and you have 2 weeks to prepare yourself for versus certain teams on certain maps. But every time we see them on the fresh one, they look unstoppable at it. That was the first time we ever saw them on Dense Search to Destroy. We also have another map in this best of 5 series that we're actually now going to go to on that map number 4, which is Gridlock. That hard point they have yet to play too. So the unexpected continuously is catching a lot of these top teams off guard. But it's still 1-1. Optic, no, they got their playground right in front of them on Scar Overload.
And that's the big thing. You kind of talk about like what went wrong for the Falcons in map number 1. It was just simply being able to keep track of Hoop, Shotzi, and Mercules. And that is going to be something that could potentially be a huge problem here on a Scar Overload. So there's something to be told, I think, kind of reflecting back when the Falcons were in their old roster. They played this map a ton. There was one stage of the year where they were by far one of the best Overload teams in the game. And who did we look to be that player? It would be Exton. He was the one who was trying to continually find routes to open up space. But the big difference now with Luka in the mix is Kismet just has the freedom to join him. So that has to be the key. Can the SMGs get loose for the Falcons, or are they going to be in constant recovery mode knowing that Optic's doing the same thing?
And I'm hoping that Falcons can make better decisions this go around from the last time that they played Scar Overload. There were so many times where they had the numbers for that mid-map control, but just overextending a little bit too much, accounting on your teammates to just lock down that mid-map, allow these 2v2 gunfights to go down when you had 4v2 advantages. You gotta make sure you're playing as a collective unit, because Optic, they're gonna be all over. Hercules with that NPC, Shotzi and Hook had a stellar map number 1. You gotta expect it to go down the same way here at this respawn, map number 3. Here we go.
Let's get the energy back up here, Vegas. Let's lock back in. 1-1 map count. Will be Optic spawning on the right, Falcons from the quote-unquote revert side on the left. Already, Hook is trying to get loose. He's already found a bit of an opener, but Exit shuts that down. Long-range shots from Selly and puts pressure on towards Blue, and here we go. Like we talked about, it's not just Exit now. Kismet is someone that's trying to open up space.
So far, he is stuck. Cassie thought that I had this all locked down on the left side, and now the Bulldog is already getting loose. Barking loud, looking for the final kill. Has him weak, also has his teammates here to assist him. Potentially the first score is going to instantly go down here for the Falcons. Too much slain, but the goal line stop comes in.
Oh, who can find one more? Oh, my goodness, it's just not the can they find Exton? Are you kidding me? There's no possible way that Hook has done that. And now keep an eye on the other side of the map. The Falcons are scrambling. They need to get back because there's a possible counter cap, but moment of pause. 4v2 starts to develop.
Oh my goodness.
And the little visual bait and switch gives Optic the opening score. Unreal.
That is extremely demoralizing if you are the Falcons, because it was a 1v4. All you had to do was get past the noob. You don't, and it turned into an instant counter for the green wall. Reset now over towards plane. Routes being hit. Can you stall enough time for Mercules to get himself into it? But 2 of his teammates fall. He still finds 1.
Surely it doesn't happen again.
Not again.
Luka able to find another Kismet. That double will come through, and Celium will cruise his way in for a 1-1 count. And I'll tell you, that's brilliant response from Riyadh. You could lose full so quickly after what just happened, but now everything's back to level.
Usually whenever we saw Falcons early into the season on this map finding success, it's through the slaying. Everyone sitting at positive besides Exton. Aluka on 4. Make it 5. Absolutely rips Hercules off the heady. And now the lead blocker is creating space. You just don't watch the top roof. Who gets the stop?
Bro, doing that with an M15 in the back spawn, unbelievable. Still, everything comes to a bit of a calm. Exit a little bit lost on the weapon swap, but is able to still find the final shot onto Shotzi. EMP in hand though for Optic. Hotel control also starts to come through for the green wall.
Gotta get away from Falcons to make this first move. If anyone's gonna work on this pinch, you gotta choose wisely when you're gonna decide to commit on it. Because Falcons are banking on their attack uses to create an avenue to approach this B point. The nade goes down, but Aluka effective on the trade, and now you got Exton on the bench.
Yeah, really good timing here from Exton. He could have possibly been caught, but instead he finds himself too. There's a third trade that come out, so now Exton immediately turns into the lead blocker. We find ourselves at the bottom of the first. An opportunity here for Riyadh to take the lead. Extend's moving spawns around, but the EMP is still down. Aluka able to grab. Can find a way to get into B, but no, not quite. Pressure for Riyadh starts to be bounced back.
Optic just not comfortable right now. They're every single time fighting out of their spawn. This is all out pressure for the Falcons. Extra NPCs being whipped out on certain occasions. This is the moment that they can stabilize. Just gotta make sure you clear out your corners because players like Luka can potentially catch you off guard. But here comes Exit again on the pinch.
Ooh, able to clear the corner. Now it's just Exit. He will drop. This will be a freebie for Optic. 2-1, getting the count. EMP resets back over the middle, and Luke has got a really solid pivot point to stop the rotation for the Falcons. Mercury's assisting with a couple of tags. And the Falcons are currently absolutely trapped in spawn. A couple of trades do get free, and there's no one here for Optic to grab the EMP, so if Shotzi falls, there may be a chance for the Falcons to set up an opportunity to score.
Every single time Aluka shoots, he is shooting straight nukes. This is unreal. What this guy's doing, he's living the dream at the highest level. 13-6, providing lifeline after lifeline for the Falcons. But you still gotta sniff out where these last players are. He comes off the respawn thinking it's all gonna be crystal clear. And now if you're the nuke, how long can you manage to stay alive?
Well, Exton is able to move back out of the play. And Kisman will still stay free for a moment over towards blue. Everything starts to stabilize, 50 seconds on the clock. Exton still hanging on the EMP. Pistol shots are decent, but not good enough to finish off shots. He's low health pool. Hercules can trade on to Cell. And Aluka will not be able to get in towards blue. Numbers for Optic here as they try to regain the map.
The reset is about to go down as well through the middle of the map. So if you are Riyadh, you gotta wrap back, you gotta get over towards B. Mercules is gripping you with the NPC. But thankfully you got an Aluka. Another double gets the stop, and there's only 25 seconds remaining on this half.
Well, nice follow-up there on damage that Luke is able to put together. Boom seen over towards mid-map, able to catch the EMP carrier, so Exit will have to pause on the route over towards his plane position. Luco now off the reset. Help from selling him over towards red steps, but Optic have some forward positions. The only problem is they don't have the EMP. 4 seconds until we get to halftime. Kisman's still hanging. He's got a route. Can he finally get all the way there? Not quite, but the half will come to an end before extra time. It's 2-1.
And we instantly got to take a look back at the scuff play of the game. It happened in the first 35 seconds. This is a 1v4 technically here for the nuke. Comes off the respawn, hits the shots onto Aluka. And then every single player from the Falcons just go one by one. He locates 3, Mercules comes off the respawn and secures the final. If you would have came out the gates, out of the break, scoring that quickly, you would have put an immense amount of pressure on Optic to quickly respond. But they get the stop, and they have the 1-score lead on the bad side, now going into good.
Here we go, off spawn into the second half. Very courteous applause from the fans here in Vegas. Now the chance starts to overwhelm the arena. Only first blood for Aluka. He's going to find a second towards top red. Good response. Brilliant shutdown. Exit also red, but looking at the Falcons with a little bit of forward map position as Optic are trying to do the same thing by generating space for Shotzi through field.
And now Shotzi just waiting for his teammates to draw the attention. First kill goes to Mercules. Shotzi going to commit, but Aluka isn't going to be caught off guard. That's 2 kills in favor of the Falcons. You can technically grab this and run right up the middle of the map, but Dashy the safety net, keeping it safe right dead center.
Yeah, it's really nice from Dashy, mostly the fact that there were a couple kills from Falcons that would have led to a potential scoring chance over towards A. Now Dashy's getting lost over towards blue, and he is not being found. Same can be said over Kismet, over towards the green side of the map. Dashy eventually will drop. Kismet is still alive playing forward. The EMP still firmly on the ground here in the middle of the map. Optic are trying to gatekeep that over through mid-market, but now it's just down to who. Everyone else in the Optic Texas green wall are just trying to play defense, and they're not able to find the kills that they need. Kismet able to find the follow-up. Now the EMP is grabbed. Cell trying to make a run. Aluka trying to be the lead blocker. Doesn't miss a bullet. Able to find the shots, and Cell able to score to tie the game.
Now the reset over towards plane. Quickly trying to push forward if you are the Falcons, because Optic have been able to manage off of the respawn with their slaying presence. Shotzi the lead blocker, this time with an AR in hand. Already clearing out the backside of fence. Just got to get past Kismet, and now you got to get past Exton. He had so many multi-kills not too long ago when he played this overload, and he finds a massive one to get the stop.
That was just about as close as it could get. Off of a counter tap opportunity, Shotzi going to move up towards top 3 to see if he can stop the Falcons from moving forward. Actually, good movement, but Shots is able to read it, find the kill. Kismet also shut down towards a TDMP on the ground at the plane, and that's an opportunity for Optic to start winning back the middle of the map and possibly gain some possession.
That's going to be all 4 dead. Everyone off the respawn now for the Falcons. Hit your stuns, hit your nades. And Mercury's at 28 HP. Still finds a kill. Shotzzy slides it on in. Optic have the lead again.
The exit kills are coming through for the Falcons. Put 2:45 on the clock. Optic are still putting the pressure over towards this motel side of the map. Who gets some trouble? Oh, crazy! Big double from Hook. Trades Kismet. Not quite there. What a win from Hook. And now the EMP has a round to score. Shotzzy will get it over the threshold 4-2.
You usually expecting the Nuke to do this with this NPC, but the F-15 is also really pretty damn good in his hands. Finds kill after kill. And now Optic have a 2-score lead. Tall ladder to climb now for the Falcons to potentially try to tie this one up. It all starts with this map control, but Optic playing safe, playing spread.
Hook is a little bit out of the play. Be able to put some damage in and find a kill, though, onto Kismet. That will force the Falcons to have to play this largely just a little map and sells them to find 2. It's just on them shots. He could provide the double, and yes, he will. Defense good for Optic, and now possession as Cassie and Hook will wipe the floor. There will be a chance to score at A. Trophy system down. Exton will drop. Over the top, Sully looking to try to find the shots. He gets the first. Hercules is there for the score. 5-2. Optic are cruising.
Way too easy right now for Optic. Every single time they find a sequence of kills, it's leading to all 4 dead. They know how much space they can guarantee to push up on the map. 1:30 left to go. Falcons need to start sprinting. Need to start winning some gunfights that are extremely difficult to do so. Because Optic, just take your time.
Yep. Play a little bit of defensive TDM around the top side of the map. But if you take your foot off the gas a little bit too much, there could be a chance your Hercules is in some trouble. But Kismet's not going to come back to try to find this kill. Instead, it's Hercules who finds him. Turns back over for the EMP carrier, and you just have to try to force this if you're Exton. There's no other way about it. Hercules is going to get the help from Dashy, and 60 seconds left, 3-score game. Shotzzy in your back line, looking good for the green wall.
And this is where Shotzzy can have fun. Influencing spawns a certain way. Playing for spawn kills if he can find them. Second onto Aluka. He's just so hard to keep track of. A thief in the night. He's on one side, now he's on the other. Shotzzy is all over the damn map.
One more kill will get score number 6, and Shotzzy will do it himself. 6-2. Optic will put the card cruise control as they will win map number 3. But I will tell you, the scoreboard is not reflective of how tight this overload was, but Riyadh, just a couple of missed opportunities, a couple of critical mistakes, and Optic are able to punish in a big way.
It's Shotzzy, always getting away with murder. In a game mode like Overload, they even get that extra one to the tally. It's gonna end out 7-2. Optic take the lead in the series.
I'll tell you what though, Jay, that was 3/4 of an overload. That could not have been tighter. And I think that's another one of those you look at and say, if you're Riyadh, we were in that the entire way. But then at the very last moment when you have to generate scores, things get a little bit too loose. That's where Optic are able to take advantage of the map control that they have, the numbers that they have. They get lost, they get loose, and then they start running it down your throat. But for 75% of that map, 7-2 is not reflective of how close this was.
It's just a little mistakes coming back to bite Falcons again here on Star Overload. That sequence in the first 30 seconds to start the game, you cannot allow to happen. No. The new 1v4 scenario, sitting on a backside of blue. You send in your EMP carrier, thinking it's all gonna be free and dandy. But then after that, once he falls, it's 1 by 1. That's what allows the nuke to ISO every single one of those gunfights, sold out all of that time. And as quick as the Falcons thought they were about to have immediate momentum into this overload, they got stripped away by the nuke.
I'll tell you, it's just another one of those moments though, again, for Optic. Once they start to get control, they start to build up that tempo, they are hard to slow down. And again, it's a byproduct of the scoreboard. At the end of the game, you have to do desperate things to try to find a way to get back into the game if you're Riyadh, and it's just not able to come fully back together. But at this moment, when we're looking at a 2-2 game, where honestly it could have been 3-1 the other direction, you're starting to think, hold on a second. But then this score is where things really start to change. You get Hook loose behind. He wins a couple of gunfights that are just undeniable. And from there on out, it's just all optic. If you shut down Hook there, a chance to recontrol the middle of the map, maybe it falls into a different store, but that was the turning point without question, is Hook's little mini spree at the backside of the blue.
Yeah, they just can't keep track of these guys at certain points of the game. When they desperately need to locate where the last guy is, communication probably not hitting the way you needed to. With the new MPC, M15, he was all over the map. Shotzzy was doing the same exact thing. You even saw Dashy at certain points hitting flank routes. This is why Optic are one of those top squads. Efficiency. Everyone can do everything on the map. Now they have one more map standing in front of them to make it to Championship Sunday.
Be the case. Oh, they're coming for him, they say. Got to get through a gridlock hardpoint first. Those that are diehard Optic fans know that throughout stage 3 this map was added. They look great. Yeah. But it's been a while since we've seen them on the map. They played it once, I believe, at Major 4. They're still 5-1 over it on it overall. The Falcons, not really much to show in terms of even with the old roster playing this map. So once again, kind of an opportunity to put the blindfold on and just come in with some unpredictability to see if you can surprise Optic and get to 5.
Just think if you are the Falcons, though, what happened in that map, number 1, losing basically every single money hill. That can't be the case here on Gridlock. You know how impactful certain wave of kills can be. That P1 to P2 chain, hard block in the backside of 18, just giving yourself so much time. Potentially earn that time. Just continuously grow that lead. Just Falcons need to look at their experienced players right now. Coach Clayster giving them the wise words. JP handing out the fist bumps. Potentially the final map here at the Michelob Ultra Arena here on Saturday. Optic trying to get their rematch. They're trying to get to the last dance versus FaZe again. Can Falcons continue to have their honeymoon, their Cinderella story, to go into this game 5?
For the Falcons, the problem with map 1 was keeping track of players. I think in a lot of ways, this map right here is all about keeping track of spawns. Don't allow someone to pop up unexpectedly. The other side of that, SMGs are going to be out in troves. Here we go. Break off attempt for the gridlock hardpoint. Must-win scenario for Falcons Optic, looking to get this thing done cleanly and move on to start prepping up for a best of 9. And it's going to be Optic in the hardpoint first.
Just look at the mini-map already for the Falcons. They're playing for Shotzzy already. They sent 2 players through the showers, and since they were giving up so much time initially, you give up this pressure, this now opens up the avenue for Shotzzy to hit it.
And he is just hitting routes. Route man gets paid, is what we once said. Exit, lots of damage out, looking for a little bit of assistance. Shotzzy somehow is still alive, not quite able to connect with the knife, but that's a lot of time and space, and more importantly, score for Optic to soak up here on 1.
Now, if you are Falcons, we have to make tough decisions. Only 15 seconds left, but we also need to start thinking about that new HP, because players like the new already hitting those long routes. SD thinks this is all going to be safe. My teammates have so much free space to work from behind, but the new going to make the play.
Oh, they don't check the corners. You can see it. All the arrows from the Falcons are knowing that they're missing Hook. But they don't find him at the bus stop. Team kill comes through. Makes life a little bit easier here for Hook, but Luke is able to come back over, find the trade, keep the Falcons still spawning close. 31 playing 15. Falcons at the time for now. Kids with the opening trade. Sell a little bit of trouble over the top of the Pax card, but how about that? Able to find this kill on the Shotzzy, and Optic will be pushed back.
Have this on lockdown now. All of Optic trying to sprint through the front side of the street. You have stuns, you have pain. Potentially use those to create an opening. But the contest is now going to be here. But for how long? Because Falcons think that they have the numbers. They just don't win the fights. Optic get the break.
Yeah, Luka just too far out of the play here, playing at market. Trying to do what he can here in the last 20, but he will be overwhelmed. Kismet was already on the way to try to assist him. He has to commit his life to the effort. Teammate to come through, gives Exton a chance at a 1v1. Nice shots onto Dashy, and that's important time right there. It's going to give Riyadh a chance not just to get this to a tie game, but they're going to have numbers on rotation.
Selim's early over towards New. Hercules able to find the first, but he just quickly fall to the hands of MC. Gonna give him the advantage, or at least turn it into a 2v2 off this rotation. Shotzzy gonna finesse. Stalling out time. Teammates and I here to assist, but it's a bloodbath in towards Shower.
A lot of attacks are through. Shotzzy knows he's got Kismet in front of him on low health, but now all of a sudden, Riyadh come up off the spawn. Another team still comes out. Hercules and Dashy are still alive and well inside at the time. Spawn through mid-map to give Shotzzy a chance to play for a very aggressive route. The timing of this could be immaculate. He's waiting for the hit for the Falcons to come through first and foremost. Nades are landing. Shotzzy going to make his move, able to save the play. Who follows from behind? Hercules off the regen will fall, but Exton is traded, and Optic are perfect on the hill.
Yeah, but the spawns do flip. Now if you are Falcons, you're still going to commit because you don't want to give up at least 30 seconds of junk time. This is going to catch Optic off guard. 2 kills go their way. Only 1 player left standing, and Aluka cleans up the rest. You have the spawns that you want. You have the rotation that you want. We just can't die off the roto because you can potentially spawn out because Optic are applying pressure.
Actually able to find one that keeps Optic away from that rotation through small. Cellium holding the position, but there's a 2-2 split here to protect us on the rotation. Spawns are out right now for Riyadh, even though the hard point is open. Numbers for Optic starting to develop as Aluka finds 2 on the old time, leaving Exit by himself. Aluka can't get there to rotate. Exit now by himself. 2 members to deal with the front door. Doesn't like the look of that, so he backs up into Mercury, who's waiting for it. He may find more from topside stairs. Optic in a position to control here.
Ever since Mercury started running this NPC, Optic are just always going to be in your face. No Sun Gaib, 5 in a row. Trying to continue to add to the tally. Close to a hellstorm. You know that you don't have the backbone. They are banking on this tight setup, and Falcons don't have a way in.
Nah, there's just no routes available. They're still so worried about Mercury's, and yeah, you gotta be. 6 in a row, working closer and closer towards a hellstorm, and Optic have been absolutely casual here inside the 4th hardpoint. Mercury's does get shut down, though. Dashy, aggressive route on the way back will confirm the scrap time unless Exit decides to hit, but no. Instead, it's going to be chalk and rotate, and Riyadh Falcons are going to be down big heading into our 2nd set.
Now Dashy working the AoE gets the better of Aluka. Doesn't matter what weapon this guy has, he's straight beamer when he's taking shots. An 80-point difference. Falcons trying to stay alive in this game, and that's a good sequence. All 4 dead, stabilizing the spawns. Look at how far pushed up Exit already is.
Yeah, you need to have 1 hill to at least go your way. We didn't get it at all at Hacienda. They kept it mixing, they kept it scrappy. Same could be returned here. But you have to put something together if you're the Falcons. You cannot continue to play these 30-30, 40-20 splits. And so far, the kills are continuing to allow Riyadh to fight for this team 1 time. Optic will break their way back into the contest. Exit trying to get himself into a 1v2, but he will drop, and now the numbers for Optic start to lead towards rotation.
This is still a good time to play for if you are Optic. Because again, you have players like the Nuke doing the dirty work, getting the rotation early on over towards the P2, but this time he gets sniffed out. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Falcons make their adjustments. This was their money hill last go around, but this time they got trophy systems to make it even better.
Yeah, you need a 40 plus here if you're Riyadh. Lots of focus on the flank. Dashy will be the one putting on the pressure from the front. Exit is all about timing here, playing at fire. Aluka back in the market as he was before. Helping back over to the hard pump, and the Mercury wheels come through. Kismet has to get active over from the backside of Cop Car, and now he's by himself, completely stuck, completely overwhelmed, and Optic with a clean break.
Yeah, Exit's still playing for those long rounds. He's thinking shots here. Who? Someone's got to be working through showers, and he completely leaves his team out to dry. Optic disregard him. They get the break, they flip the spawns, and now Falcons forced to break in through the front. You're not finding effective trades, and now Optic, you blink, they're up by 100.
And you still haven't put these kills from Aluka, but able to do any damage onto the hard point. And it's a blowout. An absolute runaway right now for Optic. It's do or die time for Riyadh.
Green wall starting to get loud. They can feel it. They only need 60 more seconds to make it to Championship Sunday. Don't win the rotation over towards New. Too early on, trying to contest from the backside of Courtyard. But New can't get the better of Cellium. So at least if you are Falcons, you are doing just enough to still keep yourself in it.
And we need to get these kills right here for Riyadh. You cannot allow this natural pinch to develop, and they will push things out through small. Find a couple of kills and have a read that the last members for Optic are from the front, but Hooks again. Winning gunfights he has no business winning. 3 in a row. Now Optic have the numbers as they return over towards Tree. Cellium finally gets a couple of shutdown stabs, and the last one to find, and it's Cellium putting together 3 in a row.
The reason why Optic have this lead is because this P3 to P4 chain. Falcons looking this time around for it to go their way. Cellium with the NPC, he's been outstanding so far all throughout this weekend. Another 3 in the feed. The entire time Exit is yet to move. He's hard blocking those spawns.
Bro,
they're cutting that lead little by little.
I know it's a moment, but it's like you got Cellium pelting Shotzi through the wall, and you still expect that he's out of it like a ghost. Now he's got pressure on rotation. Luka, a big opener win. Exit following up behind that is only able to get 1, but an aid will take care of Mercury. Spawn control still a little bit in question as Shotzi has still not been found since that play at Showers. Now he's getting active. Damage on over towards Cell, who's trying to fight for his life. It's not going to work. The break from the front simultaneously coming through, and Optic are well firmly in control.
Shotzi's just getting away with murder, my friend. This cannot continue to happen. You know he's going to be making those plays. You know he's going to be playing for spawns. And on the opposite side, he's got his duo hitting shots he's not supposed to. Optic with the back, in towards the time. Keep on cutting down this score and getting closer and closer to the finish line.
Bashy now the next one into the hard one. Contest starting to come through. Shotzzy on 5 in a row. How does he make this continually happen? Oh, now trophy system down Optic. Putting the pressure through and over to the underpass. Shotzzy the first one up. Stunned up. Exit also pushed back as Luka gets first blood. Kid's been trying to play off the old time from the flank. Will clear the hard point, and Riyadh will stay alive a little while longer.
Another 4 dead. Now can Falcons shut down this first wave from Optic? There's no Hellstorms that are going to be into play because you were able to shut down all of those streaks. When you have this much of a lead, you're going to take your time on these routes. Look at the nuke going all the way through the backside of Courtyard. Exit is thinking that's going to be a freebie. And now the trade fight's going down. Optic have the advantage.
Yeah, you just have no one in position to stop this score from being tallied up if you're Riyadh. Exit able to get some control over towards Hole. Dashy trying to respond. Has to go to the pistol, and he somehow still wins that. Hook off the pinch. Not quite able to get things going. Last 5 seconds, though, potentially here as Riyadh have to break from the front. Dashy back to the pistol again. Shotzzy takes down his teammate, but he also possibly wins the game as Hook finishes off the last shot. Cellium not going to get there. A chance for Optic to go back to back to back.
Just a different level of opponent. On that other side of the main stage for the Falcons. They were able to take down the likes of Thieves. They were able to take down the likes of Paris. It just falls short to both the squads now sitting in the grand final. Optic get the win, but Falcons are the heroes of the weekend for me.
I agree.
A rookie on 2 weeks' notice comes in and solidifies his spot, guaranteed for next season. You get the Falcons their best placing. You get fans behind them. You get people to start believing in the team. But it's the green wall prevailing again. Submachine guns, but just on a different level that series.
Legitimately, yes. That's 100% the case. And I think we just need to take a moment here and give the flowers to this Falcons team. No doubt. I mean, and just to kind of use the numbers as a support system to how immediate this change has been, they're the #1 breaking team on the weekend. That just goes to show with a little bit more time, if they can figure out what they need to prioritize on rotation, how do we get our setups going, maybe there's a chance right there. But in 2 hard points against one of the best teams in the game, they're keeping things mixy and scrappy, but at the end of the day, at this level, at this stage of the game, you have to be able to win rotations and win setups if you want to beat teams like Optic in hard points.
It's just hard, man, when you can't find these guys. Breakoffs for Falcons are like, all right, we're playing for Shotzzy. We're not going to play for initial time. And if Shotzi's not there when you want him to be, you turn your head left, and all of a sudden now he's already behind you. Optic just too efficient in their gameplay. No one goes above and beyond again. It's just everyone providing their 25%. They shake that loss off versus FaZe. Now they make it to the last dance.
Unreal. A FaZe Optic Grand Final. Optic a chance to do the unprecedented in 3P.
Crazy, man.
That's unbelievable. I mean, we're sitting here talking for, what, 5-6 years about no one's going to be able to get to 4 rings. Shots is about to do it by way of winning 3 in a row, potentially. Unreal stuff as you look back over the game chart. And again, it's just kind of the same story. 40-20s, 40-20s, 40-20s. One good moment from 2 to 3 for Falcons, and you just can't win a hard point versus Optic in one good moment.
Yeah, it's just that sequence.
Yeah.
From the initial P2 going into the P3, that's when Optic starts to pull away. And when you give Optic the leader's advantage by almost 90 points, that's when those SMGs have so much fun. All right, cool. ARs are putting down shots. All right, you're going to take the bait. Now I'm going to come behind you. Just too good from the green wall. Falcons get a top 3. They win the hearts of a lot of people in the stands. At the top, they could get the last lap.
Oh, I think we were all kind of maybe selfishly rooting for that raid to come through. Not the case. Green Wall survive into Sunday, and it's Shotzzy with Guy Plays on the main stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, show some love to your back-to-back world champions, Optic Texas, going to Championship Sunday to
defend their title. Shotzi, 5 out of 5 grand finals in this season. Talk to me about how does it feel to make it back to a Champ Sunday to defend your title?
It feels good, man. Honestly grateful. Not a lot of teams can say they've made, every single grand final every year. So just shout out my team, man, honestly. My team, thank you.
As you can hear, the whole venue wants to watch you guys make history. Let's talk about the last few hours of you guys being on this main stage, man, because you guys came off a heartbreaking map number 5 against FaZe to come into the series. What were you guys talking about after that to get here with Riyadh?
Just went back to the drawing board. Didn't really overthink it. I mean, we know that we're going to make grand finals regardless, whatever, winners, losers. So, I can't wait to, have the opportunity to make history tomorrow.
I know you want to make history. You want to get that rematch. 2 hours of you guys being on this main stage, man, because you guys came off a heartbreaking map number 5 against FaZe to come into the series. What were you guys talking about after that? Breaking map number 5, a heartbreaking, man, because you guys came off a heartbreaking map number 5 against FaZe to come into the series. What were you guys talking about after that to get here with Riyadh?
Just went back to the drawing board. Didn't really overthink it. I mean, we know that we're going to make grand finals regardless. My teammates are just fucking amazing, honestly. So shout out my teammates.
The best in the world on his squad as they're going to be defending their championship tomorrow. And you talk about how your teammates makes these matches so easy for you. But my God, the fans in this building, the fans at home, how do they make it easy for you guys, man?
You guys are unreal. Literally unreal. I love you guys so much. Shout out to Greenwall. Best fan days ever. Love you guys, man.
You heard it here, man. He loves you guys out there, okay? I'm about to wrap this one up because tomorrow is going to be a glorious day. It's Optic versus FaZe on the main stage, a tale that we have watched so many years in Call of Duty, and it's going to be a special matchup. What do you want to tell to the Call of Duty fans out there, no matter who they're cheering for, as they tune in here on the Championship Sunday to watch an amazing Call of Duty?
It's going to be a good one. Best way to put it.
It's going to be a good one, everybody, and you don't want to miss it. Cheer one more time for Optic Texas as they will be in the championship finals tomorrow.
You have to appreciate greatness when you see it. This is 6 CDL Grand Finals in a row, 2 of them being World Championships, and they are already back-to-back World Champions. Honestly, an incredible run for the Falcons. If you're going to lose to a team, it might as well be a juggernaut. Nameless, you had faith in the Falcons for a while. What did you see from Optic, though, in this match?
Yeah, the SMG duo got going. And that man on that stage, I can't believe what we're going to watch tomorrow. Going for a 4th ring would be absolutely insane. Uncharted territory for a Call of Duty player. And yeah, Shotzi and Hook, those two did not have a great performance against FaZe. But right there, against the Falcons, pop takeover.
Attach, you are that young guy. We now saw Aluka and Xnid kind of take on that role. They have a big tournament a few weeks away, but they are now done for the CDL season. Final thoughts on the Falcons as we say goodbye to our 3rd place team.
Oh, I mean, we all love the Falcons. They were such an easy team to root for. I think we're so excited to watch Xnid and Aluka. Their careers grow and they have them flourish. They proved themselves at COD Champs on the biggest stage. Everyone was doubting them, from the players, their old teammates, their new team, or not their new teammates, the community. Everyone was just roasting them, and they showed that they belong here. They're going to be in the CDL for a long time, and hopefully can win some championships for their home countries.
We've got a lot more games coming tomorrow, but Allie, how do you feel knowing that Nameless and I cannot be Player X champions now that Celium has been removed from the competition?
That's heartbreaking. I'm heartbroken for you guys because, I mean, I'm a big MC fan. Listen, he was doing what he needed to do on that main stage. I can't wait to see what Riyadh is able to pull out when we go back to EWC in a couple of weeks. But, man, Optic Texas is looking impossible to go through right now. Those are my ARs, by the way.
I go from 2nd to 4th. Kremp gone. Celium gone. Joe Deceives gone.
I need a generational from Abuza.
Simp can double up for me, but Dashi Abuza in the mix as well. It is going to be a crazy Sunday. Allie, all vibes here.
All vibes. 600-point lead's tough, but you know what? I think Abubuza is yours.
I need a generational out of
He's been playing crazy this weekend. He might.
We got to get out of this Vegas venue. She's turning into Lindsay Lohan. You hear that voice? Let's take a look here at our bracket attached. What have you seen?
I've seen the two best teams in Black Ops 7 meeting in the grand finals. This will be an absolute banger. COD history will be made tomorrow. Will Shotzi get his 4th? Will Simp get his 3rd? Oh my God. Can Optic go back to back to back?
Yeah,
This is insane. This is a
There's so
potential
much.
dynasty in the making. If Optic wins the finals tomorrow and can somehow go on to an EWC, this might be the best season in CDL history.
Yeah, it might be the best team ever as well.
Final question
Tomorrow's
that I
gonna be
want to
tough.
leave everybody, because I'm sure we're going to have lots of time to discuss this match tomorrow. Would you rather see Shotzi become the first player to win 4 rings or
Yeah,
for
that's
Simp to get his 3rd and join a more epic group?
Man, I mean, that's a tough. Both of them would be incredibly special. Like, I hate to sit on the fence with that one, but they both would just be a W, honestly.
You
Either way.
don't have to answer it now. Think about it
Chew on
over the night. For now, get pumped up with this video and share it on Twitter to all of your friends who had to leave the venue because security is kicking us out. We'll see you tomorrow.
He gets traded though. Traza closes the game, goes on an incredible streak and fades or into the grand final. Optic trying to get their rematch and trying to get to the last dance versus FaZe again.
Can they pull Max in? Are you kidding me? There's no way that Hook has done that. We're coming for you, FaZe. We're coming for you.
I was born with the story. I was born for the glory. Through the heat and the rain, can't deny and ignore me. I'm bred for commitment, signed up for a mission. Yeah, it comes with the price. It's all in the description. My time has arrived. I can't hesitate. Nothing is in my way. Knocking down barricades. On a different type of time. Dreams are never late. From the jump, I'm the person you can never break.
Nice! You breakers! Nice! Come the on! Come the on!
I got the power, I've been working after hours. Seize the moment, I get back up all the cowards. Student of the game, like I'm Paul at Howard. You can call
Nice!
I can be devoured. All I think is win. I can't watch it in 2020 through the lens. When I fell off, I always had to try again. Got the code that can make it like a
Nice! Go! Come on!
Again, Optic going deep. Bro, this is they get 3, 2v2. Simp
finesse, and there is nobody better than the
Yes! 17.
And 17. 41. Oh my God. It's on an MO.
What the
We swear on.
All right, well, we're gonna do it the hard way. Nice, baby. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Benji, let's go. Let's go, Lamar. Let's go, Lamar. Come on.
Always moving forward and it's at a steady pace. If we go to war, I'ma feel just like I made you
They keep speaking on the name like I ain't changed the game. So I had to come through, I had to save the day. We always moving forward and it's at a steady pace. If we go to war, I'ma feel just like I made your pain. Like I made your pain. Feel just like I made your pain. Like I made your pain. Feel just like I made your pain. I've been through hell and back, I wouldn't change a thing. They tried to hold me down, so I went and spread my wings. Devoted to my craft, cause it's my everything. So if I want it, I'ma get it, that's by any means. We ain't even gotta talk, yeah, just get into it. On the name like I ain't changed the game. So I had to come through, I had to save the day. We always moving forward and it's at a steady pace. If we go to war, I'ma feel just like I made your pain. Like I made your pain. Feel just like I made your pain. Like I made your pain. Feel just like I made your pain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then never look back, never look back. I don't take no L's, no I don't take no L's. Man, straight off the dub, a player ain't stopped since a player caught buzz. Haters wanna talk, so they gotta throw subs. I see them in the streets and they say it's all love, it's all love. I know better, I don't let up. I gotta get to it, I'ma